Welcome to my rather windy wooden wagon in Brandenburg and another story, which today comes from Armenia. Although I do know that they tell this story in Iran, and I read a slightly similar version of it in a book of Indian folk tales. There was once a businessman who became quite wealthy by lending money to the poor villagers and demanding a high interest in return. Over the years, he'd built himself a beautiful house, a beautiful garden, he had a beautiful wife. He had all of the comforts that he desired. The villagers, on the other hand, realised that the businessman's wealth and comfort came from the fruits of their labour. And rather than going to him and borrowing more money and giving him even more back in return, thereby making him wealthier, they would keep their money amongst themselves and lend it just to one another. So it was that the source of the businessman's wealth dried up. He became destitute. At first he had to sell some of his possessions, then some of his property, and then his house. His wife came to him and said, "Man, we can't go on like this. I have put aside some gold and some jewels. We shall sell them and we shall buy passage to another land." And that's what they did. The new world they came to across the ocean was a good land, and they had just enough money to buy a farm from an old farmer who had no energy, no time, and didn't want to work anymore. And this farm was full of cows. And the cows were full of milk, which the man could take down to the market to sell. So the woman stayed on the farm and she milked each day, and he sold the milk on the market. And it was good milk, and people were happy to buy it from them, and slowly they made enough money to buy more cows. The reputation of their milk was good, and soon they didn't have to go any longer to the market. They could sell the milk straight from the farm. So people would come to the farm and buy milk from them, and each day they came, they would go happy away with a bottle of milk. But their reputation grew so good that there was not enough milk to sell to the people, and each day that the woman saw people coming and walking away without milk in their hands was a sad day for her, because she saw people walking away that hadn't left their money in her purse. So she hit upon the idea of filling the milk bottles up not only with milk but also with a bit of water. She would put in 3/4 milk and 1/4 water. Thereby, for the same amount of work, they were earning a little bit more money. When her husband found out about this, he was impressed with her ingenuity. "Extraordinary," he said. "What a very good idea." But each day people came to buy milk, still there was never enough. So she began to fill the bottles up 50-50, half milk, half water. This went on for days, for weeks, for months, for years, and they made themselves rich. After a while, the man said, "I've had enough of this, I'm tired. Let us sell the farm and return from where we came and show the people that we're good, rich people again." So they sold the farm for good money, many gold coins. "That is what we got for our work," he said. He was afraid of robbers and footpads and thieves on the way back, so he made a belt in which he put all the gold coins all flat inside the belt so no one could see them. And they travelled back. They came to the port, they bought passage on a ship, and they sailed back across the ocean. It was a long journey, and it was a hot day, and there was nothing to do on the ship, so the man, like his wife, went to lay down on the bed and sleep. But it was very uncomfortable lying on that bed with this belt full of money, so he took it off and he left it next to the window, which was open because it was hot. And unbeknown to him, there was a monkey on that ship, the ship's monkey. And that monkey was a curious monkey, a playful monkey, always looking for things to do. And the monkey saw the belt and snatched it. The man saw what had happened, ran outside, tried to find the monkey, but couldn't, because the monkey was at the top of the mast of the ship. When the man realised this and looked up, he saw the monkey sitting there with the belt, opening it up and taking the gold coins out and throwing them into the water. He was horrified. However much he shouted at the monkey just carried on throwing the coins. But eventually the monkey got bored and threw the bag down at the man's feet. He picked it up and saw that there was some still in there. And he went back to his cabin and he told his wife what had happened. She began to cry. She was distraught. All our work for nothing. That money came from our work and we've lost it all. No, he said. We only lost half of it. But then again, only half of the money was from our work. The other half came from the water. And that's where it's gone back to.